Okay, I want you to picture this just for a second.
Yeah.
It's pretty mind-bending.
Yeah.
What if the story you were talking about, analyzing, really digging into,
Yeah.
what if that story was actually somehow about you? Like, you're a character, but you don't even know it.
Wow. Okay. That's a dizzying thought. Instantly blurs the lines, doesn't it? Like looking in a mirror and seeing yourself as part of the picture frame.
Exactly that feeling.
Yeah.
And, well, it's pretty much what we're diving into today. We're focusing on this really unique film experience called the Recursive Cinematic Podcast, Episode 1, The Loop of Unknowing. And it's not just a film, right? It's described as this masterpiece of meta-narrative. It actually forces its own characters who, get this, are hosts of a podcast inside the film to confront the fact that they exist within that film.
So our mission today really is to try and unpack that, untangle its layers, look at the pretty challenging language it uses, and explore these big questions it raises, about identity, observation, reality itself.
Yeah, it gets called brilliant, but also utterly bewildering. So we're hoping to give you a way in, a path through that complexity.
And the material we're working from is fascinating in itself. It's like a script within a script.
Right.
We've got key lines from the film, but also the characters' own sort of confused reflections on it all. Characters who are also podcast hosts, remember?
It's like a shortcut, yeah.
Yeah.
A shortcut into understanding something that could otherwise feel like, I don't know, a total puzzle box.
Absolutely. And what's so fascinating, so key to this whole recursive thing is the basic setup. These two podcast hosts, their job is discussing the film they are somehow in.
That creates this immediate loop, right? Almost makes your head spin a bit.
It does. Nauseating, you said earlier, and that feels right. It's like those infinite mirrors.
Yeah. And the film just throws that traditional separation audience, character, creator right out the window. Even the title, The Recursive Cinematic Podcast, it's doing the thing it's describing. It almost pulls you, the listener, into it. Suggests that this conversation we're having right now, maybe it's linked. Maybe we're all in the loop somehow.
Well, that's the implication, isn't it? The film is sort of performing its own recursion. It hints that, maybe this deep dive is just another layer, another scene.
The genius, or maybe the madness of it, is that total circularity. It really makes you think about who's in control of a story.
And it gets right into it. There's this early line from Voice 2 in the film. It really sets the stage. They say, and in that moment, the observer became the observed.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
A transient, eternal echo within the unfathomable yet utterly mundane feedback loop of its own self-awareness.
Phew. Yeah, that just pulls you right in, doesn't it? Straight into the loop.
It's like the film's mission statement right there. And this idea, observer becoming observed, it just keeps coming back, especially when they start arguing about the script itself.
Oh, right. That bit where voice one completely denies saying something.
Yeah. He's like, but I never said that. That was a direct quote, a textual extraction from the very cinematic tapestry we are dissecting. Very formal language.
Yeah. My role is merely to present the reified scriptural elements for our mutual, albeit analytically impoverished contemplation. Like, I'm just reading the script, guys.
Exactly. And then Voice 2 just hits him with it. Yes, and that was you in that movie. Every line, every abstruse pronouncement, every self-cannibalizing paradox, it's all us.
Chilling. Absolutely central. This idea that my thoughts, they are their thoughts, and their thoughts are ours.
And that phrase Voice 1 used, reified scriptural elements, basically means the words from the script, made real, undeniable, and analytically impoverished contemplation. It suggests their discussion just can't grasp it.
Yeah, like they know they're missing something huge.
It perfectly captures that dawning horror, that feeling of, wait, am I not in control here?
It's like realizing you're a puppet, but the strings are your own thoughts. It's terrifying. And that leads them, understandably, to look for answers, or specifically, a hidden camera.
Right, the temporal camera.
Yeah, Voice 1 says, I posit with unwavering conviction and a subtle yet persistent throb of existential dread. Love that bit.
Yeah.
That we should search for the hidden camera. The one that can supposedly send video through time.
You can almost feel his desperation, can't you? And it leads to Voice 2's question, which is just brilliant.
Is the director just messing with them?
Basically, yeah. Is the whole point to make them search for something that isn't there, a temporal paradox in hardware form, making their futile quest the actual unapprehended core of the movie.
So the search itself becomes the plot, which is exactly what they, as podcast hosts in the film, are doing. More loops.
Exactly. It keeps folding in on itself.
And just when you think it can't get weirder, they throw in precognition, the idea of knowing the future.
Voice one just drops it in.
And I've seen it. The movie, I've seen how this scene plays out.
Imagine hearing that from your co-host. Like, spoiler alert, this conversation we're having, I know the ending. Right. And the source material says this sparks this huge debate about free will filled with confused laughter and suppressed snorts of disbelief. You can just picture it.
Total confusion and frustration, especially for voice two, feeling like maybe none of their choices matter.
And the film uses that brilliantly, doesn't it? To make us, the audience, and the characters question our own agency. How much is really choice?
One of the things I found really fascinating, though, was the language. It feels like the language itself is part of the confusion.
Oh, absolutely. It's deliberately dense, very philosophical, often contradicts itself.
Yeah, you get phrases like paradoxical effulgence of precognitive resonance.
Or spectral corporeal void.
Ontological implications, ineluctable meaninglessness. It's a lot.
It is a lot, but it's intentional, right? It's meant to immerse you in how confused they are. It's the sound of minds grappling with something too big, too strange.
It's not just jargon for the sake of it. It's trying to describe these really abstract, paradoxical feelings. Like, how do you describe seeing the future? Or feeling like you're both real and not real?
Exactly. And it prevents you from just passively receiving the story. You have to wrestle with it just like they are.
But somehow, and this is clever, it's still funny.
It finds humor in the confusion.
Often it's just them totally misunderstanding each other. Or missing simple things because they're lost in the philosophical weeds.
Yeah.
Or taking insults as compliments.
That provides such a necessary human touch, doesn't it? Amidst all the head-spinning concepts, it grounds it.
It keeps it relatable somehow.
Yeah.
You're laughing with them or maybe at them, but you feel their confusion too.
And that humor, coming from those basic misunderstandings next to this super complex language, it's actually a really smart move. It stops the whole thing from just becoming alienating, you know? Makes the abstract feel, well, less abstract.
It keeps you engaged even when you're thoroughly bewildered. So, okay, why should you, listening now, care about this deep dive into such a strange film?
Well, I think because these themes, they echo outside the screen, don't they?
For sure. How often do we feel stuck in a rut, like we're in a loop, or feel like things are predetermined maybe by habit or society or something else?
And it makes you think about stories, the stories we tell ourselves, the ones we consume. What happens when that line blurs between watching the story and being in it?
How does your viewpoint, your act of observing, actually shape the reality you perceive? How much of your own story feels like it's already written?
Big questions, and maybe the film's point isn't to give answers.
Right, maybe it's teaching us to be okay with ambiguity, to find some kind of insight just in the act of asking the questions, wrestling with the paradox.
Or to get comfortable with the loop itself, maybe. Find clarity in the confusion, not necessarily beyond it.
Yeah, I like that, finding clarity in the confusion.
Which is quite a takeaway from a film designed to be, well, bewildering.
So, to recap, we've taken a dive into the Recursive Cinematic Podcast, Episode 1, The Loop of Unknowing. We've peeled back some of its intricate layers, looked at its challenging ideas about reality, identity, free will, all that good stuff.
It's a fascinating piece of work.
Definitely leaves you thinking.
And maybe here's a final thought to chew on as you go about your day. If just talking about a story can somehow make you part of it, then maybe the questions you ask about the world around you, maybe those are the very questions the world is asking back to you.